Hey there, we are live here with Behind the Scenes with Metro Detroit real producers in the area. And we got Christina Gennari with us. Welcome, Christina.
Hello.
Well, for those, if this is your first time joining, I want to say welcome. With real producers, we meet with many top real estate agents. We share their stories in our magazine, and we're sitting down today for a little behind the scenes with Christina Gennari from KW Domain, and she is a powerhouse in the real estate world. So I'm excited for you to join us.
Thank you for having me. This is fun.
So let me give you guys a quick bio about Christina, and then we can dive into some questions. So Christina, she's been licensed since 1999. She has sold over roughly 500, right?
500 million.
Over $500 million in homes. She ranks in the top 1% of realtors locally and nationally. She specializes in new construction, first-time home buyers, VA buyers, and luxury homes.
Mhm.
She is the recipient of many top awards, which I'll go over in just a minute. And she's a fourth generation real estate professional, which we'll talk about that as well. And she was a top producer cover feature back in July of 2022. One more thing, she is married, has two kids, 8 and 14.
8 and
And
4.
oh, eight. I put 8/4, 8 and 4. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
And is also part of a Porsche club, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well. So Christina, let's just first dive in. Last night was the KW Domain Awards. And tell me a little bit about the experience and how things went last night.
We had a great time. Our MC was Jason Carr, who's a newscaster, and then we had Herman Moore as a special guest with some motivational words for everyone. But it was great. We received quite a few awards. My team is high producing, so not just the number of homes we sell, but also the dollar amount. And something that was really interesting is for 2024, we sold over 80 million in homes, and that accounts for about 7% of the dollar volume of homes sold in the state of Michigan for 2024.
That is amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
And here are a list of some of the awards I found out from someone. Quadruple Platinum Award, Top Group in Units, and Year-Long Trifecta Award.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk a little bit about awards?
Yeah, so the Quadruple Platinum Award refers to our volume. So that was the over 80 million in sales. And then top group for units, we had over 170 individual homes or units sold. And the Trifecta Award goes to realtors that have homes pending, under listed, and then also closing every month. So consistently throughout the year, we had homes always at some stage of the process and lots of people buying and selling.
Nice. Well, and you have a group that works with you, right?
I do. So I'm a owner and investor in our office here with a few other partners for Keller Williams Domain, but then I want to be in the field selling houses. So I have a team of 13 and we work together.
Love it. Well, I mean, I think that's pretty amazing. I think in order to succeed at high levels, you have to really have a great team, right?
100%. Yeah. I mean, at some point as an individual realtor, you can only do so much in a day. We all have the same 24 hours. So if you have the opportunity to be busy, you definitely need support because there's just no way to get it all done yourself.
Right. Well, let's back up a little bit. So what made you, I know you said you got your license in 1999. What made you choose real estate? How did you get into it?
So I was actually going to U of M Dearborn for engineering and while I was in school, my uncle, who had a door and window company that serviced a lot of builders, we were like out at a Red Wings game, and he's like, I don't know why you want to be an engineer. You were meant to be a realtor. And I thought that was interesting. So I'm like, okay, maybe that'll be my weekend job through college. And I was working, going through school. And I met with Steve Kinch, who became my first broker. And it was kind of a love at first sight. I ended up selling 4 houses my first weekend. And I was like, this is really
Wow.
fun. I like this.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
So, so let me ask you this: as you start growing, what would you say? Because I know there's a lot of new real estate agents out there watching as well. What would you say like one of the first hires to build your team would be?
Having an assistant, a personal assistant, so someone that can take some of the things off your plate, like um, ordering title work and final water bills, those types of things that can really bog you down when you're out in the field and trying to negotiate and do the activities that generate sales. You want to make more time for yourself so that you can be doing the business building activities versus the minutia that can happen behind the scenes.
Nice.
Mhm.
Now, was there a moment when you knew like, okay, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna, this is my life, this is my career. Was there ever a moment where that kind of stood out to you?
I think in the first year I became really comfortable with it. Like it was just a natural fit for me to be in the industry, but my personality type just doesn't let me ever get comfortable. So I'm always trying to lead generate and stay busy. And, when I have a day that like seems slower, I'm always like, oh, I got to get going again. But I think that's what helps me, you know, be successful and always getting after it.
All right, so now let me ask you this. You're a wife, a mother of two, and 4 and 8. I'll get that right. But, and running a team in a large producing business. So tell me what a day in your life is like.
Every day is completely different. And sometimes it's like consistently changing through the day. So that's something that is really like unusual, I think, for most working individuals. So for instance, yesterday I had 7 appointments and all of them ended up changing. But I'd say so morning, if I can be up early, maybe a little workout and then getting the kids ready. I'm very fortunate. My mom helps with my children and lives close by, so she comes over and kind of helps with the morning routine, and then out the door. And the day is usually showing appointments, maybe a listing appointment or two. I like to come into the office where I am now. This is our office, and hang with the team members. And then sometimes, it's nights and weekends too.
By the way, I love that sign in the back of in your office there. That's really cool. I love that. I need to
Thank
get one behind me.
you. If you're on Old Woodward, you can see it from the street.
Oh, really? Oh,
Mhm.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So, you've been doing this a while. I'm sure you have some kind of wild stories, but has there been anything kind of unexpected that happened to you as a realtor that you can think of that you'd want to share about?
I have all sorts of wild stories. I mean, I've had, let's see, a client gave me a fur coat last year. She was downsizing and had lots of things. So she was like giving me these really wild gifts. Um, I've had, let's see, some like scary things happen where you're surprised at showings. That's always something that's unusual. So people will have like Halloween decorations set up in their basement that shock you when you open the door, or um, like statues and other things that are surprising on showings. But let's see. Yeah, I don't know. Everything there's lots of like new fun stuff usually happening, and every day's different.
Yeah. Now, you've built an incredible brand. I mean, you guys can find her on, Instagram, Facebook, your team. We have featured some of your team members as well, which is pretty awesome, like Ella.
Mhm.
And you've built this incredible brand. So what's your secret to standing out?
Um, just I think being authentic, like getting used to social media and all of these things that we're doing now, it's kind of uncomfortable when you get started, but now that I've been doing it for so long, that's it. Like it's me. So I don't know how to advise people to like do anything other than be yourself and stick with it and be authentic. Like you don't need to fake it or pretend you're somebody else.
Now, what advice would you give to any new agents out there as far as if they want to start, if they want to build their brand, where should they start?
Try to identify what could make you unique. Like as a realtor, you're usually pretty like saturated with other realtors marketing. So we're always seeing each other and feeling like that spot in the marketplace might already be taken. But remember that your clients and the people out there, they probably don't know all your realtor friends. So just,
Yeah.
figure out what makes you a little bit different, like what you could specialize in if it's new construction or the area that you live in, lake homes, first time home buyers, luxury houses, anything, any little niche to make it interesting. But then you also want to make sure you're for your actual business, not just pigeonholing yourself into one spot.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Now, um, let's talk about, here's a question. Were there any mistakes that you made early in your career that taught you a valuable lesson? Anything you
Um,
can think?
yeah, I'd say like making sure you get everything in writing as fast as possible. That was something that came up early in my career where I can remember the transaction where an agent had told me our offer was being accepted and, don't worry about it. I've got you. You can trust me. And then later that day called to say that they accepted a different offer. And it was really sad and disheartening. I had already told the client that we had their offer accepted and it was one to learn on, but just making sure that you have it in writing because once it's signed, you're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, realtors work 24/7. So how do you avoid burnout and how do you stay motivated?
That's really like true and hard. I recommend trying to prioritize things and understand what is an immediate thing that needs to be dealt with versus something that can happen tomorrow. So like if I have a new listing and we're negotiating the offer, I'll probably be doing that at 8 or 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Like that's something that needs to happen right away. But if it's a water bill, if it's, something that's less urgent, just wait, like write it down, put it on your calendar for tomorrow morning. You can deal with it after 9 a.m., after the kids are at school or, you're getting back to your work day. It doesn't have to happen right now.
Right.
But
Nice.
just set boundaries for yourself.
Yeah, that's a good point because I'll tell you what, I'm anyone that's in the real estate industry, you want to be available 24/7 for your
Mhm.
clients, right?
Yeah.
So, how do you set those boundaries? How do you make it clear to your clients that, hey, I'm at my kid's baseball game? What do you do? How do you handle that
Mhm.
when, people want you 24/7? My question is, do you sleep? Because that's a lot, right?
I
I
know.
mean, I think it's great. And this is why I think having a team's so great because, they have not just you, but other people on your team to reach
Mhm.
out to if there is a question. So, and I know a lot of people out there, some people love working alone, some people love a team, but you got to figure out what works for you and, you know, what you see will help you grow, right?
Well, like, and as a working mom, before I was a mom and I was a pregnant working woman, I was really scared about losing business. And I had meetings with clients where they're like, well, you're going to have a baby, so you're not going to be around. And it's like, well, no, I'm still working. I can do both. And it's figuring out how you can manage those things and still get everything done.
Well, I respect that a lot about you. And I read in your story back when we published it in 2022, how right after you had your first child, you like closed a deal that week. And then right after you had your second, you had some more listings come up. So,
Mhm.
I mean, that's amazing. That's, you know how to, would you say time management is pretty important with you being a mom and with real estate?
Definitely. And also, like, because I have my team, they know if I'm spending time at home with my kids, I'll tell them like, "Hey, for the next 2 hours, I'm at the park with my kids. I really don't wanna field any calls if I don't have to. Just I can get to it after." So they can manage things while I'm, like, out of office. And for me, I can mentally, like, be with my family versus having that push-pull of, like, "Hold on, I have to take this call. I need to, like, get out of mom brain and go back into work mode for a minute."
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so back to just some negotiation techniques. So, what is something about negotiating that your clients never see?
They probably don't see the big emotions that happen behind some of the negotiations. So there can be really aggressive, like, clients, but then also the agents involved that get really hot about negotiations. And it's like we're all trying to get to the same endpoint here and make it work for both parties, like have it be a win-win. So I try to stay very like calm, cool, collected, deliver the facts, and make like data driven decisions and help people work through it that way
Oh, no.
versus some underlying things that I'll hear is like, someone's trying to like take advantage of the situation, or I don't believe that that's really the case with the water in my basement, or
Oh
it
boy.
like becomes highly emotional because maybe it's the house you've lived in for 20 years and you're like, I've maintained this thing, I've spent all this money, and now they're going to try to beat me up on these items. And it's like, okay, well, we're just going to work through it. um but yeah, keeping it a calm like environment for them to work through is really important. And then if it's a complicated negotiation, I'll often talk with my team members or other agents in my office just to kind of like verbalize it the first time through so we can have a run through of this is the issue, what we're presenting as the solution, and what could the objections or other alternatives be. So having that preliminary conversation then makes you even more prepared for the real time conversation with the client or the other realtor.
Yeah, that's all. I mean, there's a lot of prep that goes into it, right?
Hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, Christina, what's on the horizon for you? Any big projects, team expansions, goals for this year?
So we have 13 team members, and that's just really exciting in itself because it's a really fantastic group that we have. And last year we hit our goal of sales. So we have a bigger goal this year. And if we hit it, we're actually planning on a team vacation. So
Woo!
we're really
Nice.
excited to, be working hard through the year and then have some time to celebrate, maybe on like a beach somewhere in the next winter.
Love it.
Yeah.
Well, so are you adding more people on your team right now then?
I don't have any active plans to add people. The team has grown organically where people have come to me and our team members saying, like, I really vibe with you guys. I feel like that's an environment I'd like to be in. How can I be part of your world? And, I'd say we're always open to meeting new people and seeing if it's a good fit. But we're not like, I don't advertise or do anything looking for team members.
Yeah. Well, awesome. I wish you the best. And actually, it's time for our final walkthrough. So, this is a little fun segment that I'm doing at the end of these podcasts. Now, before I go into this, if you want to check out our Breakfast of Champions event that we have, Christina is one of our panelists, and that is May 8th for Real Producers of Oakland County, 9:30 till 12:30 at the Community House in Birmingham. Great spot. So you can DM me for the link to register. Just kind of wanted to pop that in there. And all right, so this is how the final walkthrough works. We're going to wrap up with a fun sprint of questions. We got 5 minutes. See how many you can get through. If you don't want to answer, just say skip.
Okay.
And you ready?
Ready?
All right, let's go. So, what's the first thing you do in the morning?
Brush my teeth.
How many unread emails are in your inbox right now?
A disgusting amount, like thousands. It's really bad. You should see the alerts on my phone. It drives
Oh,
me
man.
crazy. Yeah.
I hear you. Favorite way to unwind after a long day?
Right now, like my Peloton. I love my Peloton, so that's probably the thing I do at like 10 o'clock at night.
That's awesome. Um, do you take work calls on vacation?
Yes, always. Vacation, having a baby, like anything. Yeah.
What's one thing you must have in your car at all times?
Water bottle. I always have a big water bottle.
What is the most app used on your phone besides social media?
Ooh, okay. So what app do I use the most? Yeah, social media is pretty much number one, but then maybe euchre. I, I like to play euchre.
Is it a euchre app?
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
I like that
You
game.
have a euchre event? You need to have a euchre event.
Yeah, that would be
How
fun.
many?
That's a good idea.
Yeah. How many cups of coffee do you drink a day?
2 to 10.
Oh,
I drink a lot of coffee. I have a lot of
good.
coffee habits. I do intermittent fasting, so it's water and black coffee. That's the protocol when you're not eating. Yeah.
Do you drink espresso?
Yes.
That might help limit. What's your guilty pleasure snack during a busy day?
Ooh. Maybe a mochi donut from
Oh,
Paris Baguette up the street.
ooh, shout out to them. All
Mhm.
right, you are early bird or night owl?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Like up at 6, and sometimes I don't go to bed till midnight.
Beach house or cabin in the woods?
Beach. Always beach.
City living or countryside escape?
Am I working? If I'm not working, I'll go to the country. But if I'm working, I'll probably stay in the city.
What's your dream vacation destination?
Ooh. I would love to go to like Europe for 2 or 3 weeks and just have some really good exploration time. I've been a few places over there, but I'd like more full immersion.
Do you collect anything?
I try not to. It's hard. Yeah. No,
Hard
no,
at first.
I do not collect anything anymore. No collecting.
What's your secret talent that no one knows about?
Um, I was a Scrabble champion in high school, so I'm really good at Scrabble, and I'm also incredible at the game Clue. Um,
Yes.
I'm very good at Clue.
Do a live Clue event.
There,
I'm all about events. You know, real producer, so that's in my brain. If you weren't a realtor, what career would you have chosen?
um, my best friend said I should be a interior decorator when we were young. She thought that was something I would do. And then if I wasn't a realtor, what would I do? I don't know. Maybe stay home, have a family, and just be a mom. Do that.
Now, if you had to pick one, what's your signature catchphrase?
Ooh, building lifelong relationships one home at a time. That's my little like tagline I came up with 15 years ago, I think. Yeah. But it's true. I have clients that I've known for like decades and helped all the generations in their family.
All right, a couple more. Favorite book or
I'm bad.
Audible? You know,
I I read a ton and I can never remember the names. The Nightingale was really good. I just read that.
what about go-to karaoke song? And it's the last one.
No, I am not a good singer. It would probably be Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus. And I have sang that in front of my team.
All right. Well, that's it for our rapid, quick final walkthrough with Christina Gennari. And if people want to get in touch with you, I'll pop up here. You can email or text Christina.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to find out more about Real Producers, just go to MichiganRealProducers.com. Our publications are free to the top realtors in the area, thanks to our preferred partners who advertise with us. So thank you to them. You can check out who our partners are on our website. Other than that, again, Breakfast of Champions, May 8th, with Christina and some other panelists that we will be doing a podcast with soon. And tune in for April 4th is our next podcast that we'll be doing live.